What's up guys, Arel here, Fugatech, and it's around the middle of 2021 and we've already seen a lot of phones get released so far this year. But which ones are the best? Well, we are back to bring you our top smartphone list. In this video, we'll be talking about our top picks for smartphones under 15,000 pesos. Here are our parameters. All phones in this list have been launched in 2021 and are officially or readily available in the Philippines. The prices range from 10,000 pesos to 15,000 pesos. And finally, we have them arranged by price from highest to lowest. First up, the Poco X3 Pro. The Poco X3 Pro boasts a 6.67 inches FHD Plus LCD dot display with a 120Hz refresh rate and 240Hz touch sampling rate. It is powered by a Qualcomm Snapdragon 860 processor mated with a Qualcomm Adreno 640 graphics. It also comes with 6GB or 8GB of RAM, 128GB or 256GB of internal storage, and 5160mAh battery with 33W in-box fast charger. For its cameras, it has a quad rear camera setup consisting of a 48MP main, 8MP ultra-wide, 2MP macro, and 2MP depth sensor. Same with the Poco F3 5G, the X3 Pro has a 20MP selfie camera. The Poco X3 Pro is priced at 15,990 pesos for the 8GB plus 256GB of internal storage variant, while 6GB plus 128GB of internal storage variant is priced at 12,990 pesos. Next, we have Xiaomi Mi 11 Lite. The Mi 11 Lite is the most affordable smartphone in the Mi 11 series that you can get. But of course, it comes with a few drawbacks from its flagship grade siblings and even to its 5G edition. It is fitted with a 6.55 inches AMOLED screen with a resolution of 2400 by 1080, a pixel density of 402 ppi, 240 touch sampling rate, and up to 90Hz refresh rate. Powering the Mi 11 Lite is a Qualcomm Snapdragon 732G chipset, an Adreno 618 GPU, and 8GB of RAM. Unlike its Mi 11 big brothers that have high-grade camera systems, the Mi 11 Lite gets a few trimming in this category. Its triple rear shooters are composed of a 64MP main, 8MP ultra-wide, and a 5MP tele-macro lens. As for selfies, it has 16MP front camera. Xiaomi has priced the Mi 11 Lite at 14,990 pesos. Third in our list is the OnePlus Nord N10 5G. The Nord N10 5G is one of the phones released by OnePlus that garnered a lot of attention because of its affordable price tag with 5G ready connectivity. It offers a very generous screen size of 6.49 inches IPS display with a resolution of 2400 by 1080, a 90Hz refresh rate, and it is protected by 2.5D Corning Gorilla Glass 3. Powering the OnePlus Nord N10 is a Qualcomm Snapdragon 690 chipset, 6GB of RAM, an Adreno 619 GPU, and 128GB of internal storage. The Nord N10 has 4 rear camera lenses including a 64MP main, 8MP ultra-wide, 2MP depth, and 2MP mono lens. The OnePlus Nord N10 5G is available for only 14,990 pesos. Next is the Oppo A94. The Oppo A94 sports a 6.43 inches FHD Plus AMOLED screen. It is powered by a MediaTek Helio P95 chipset, 8GB of RAM, 128GB of internal storage, and a 4,310mAh battery with a 30W VOOC Fast Charge 4.0. It features AI quad cameras and 48MP main, 8MP ultra-wide, 2MP macro, and 2MP mono sensors. Up front is a 32MP selfie camera. The Oppo A94 is priced at 13,999 pesos. If you are looking for a decent mid-range smartphone, you can check this Realme 8. It sports a 6.4 inches FHD Plus Super AMOLED display, up to 8GB of RAM, and 128GB of internal storage. The Realme 8 is equipped with a MediaTek Helio G95 processor, a 5000mAh battery capable of a 30W dart charge, and a 64MP AI quad camera setup. The Realme 8 is priced at 13,990 pesos. And then we have the Samsung Galaxy A22 5G. It sports a 6.6 inches FHD Plus TFT Infinity V display with 90Hz refresh rate. It is equipped with a MediaTek Dimensity 700 5G, 6 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of internal storage, and a 5000 mAh battery with 15-watt fast charging. It features triple rear camera setup with a 48 megapixel main, 5 megapixel ultrawide, and 2 megapixel depth sensors. The Samsung Galaxy A22 5G is priced at 13,990 pesos, and it is now available to purchase online via Mimo Express and Abinson, as well as on Samsung's physical store. Next in our list is the Xiaomi Redmi Note 10 Pro. The Note 10 Pro is an impressive smartphone with its AMOLED panel with 120Hz refresh rate, IP53 rating, good cameras, and great battery life. It sports a 6.67 inches FHD Plus AMOLED dot display with thin bezels and a small punch hole on the upper center of the 16 megapixel front camera. Powering this device is a Qualcomm Snapdragon 732G paired with an Adreno 618 GPU, 6 or 8 gigs of RAM, 64 up to 128 gigs of internal storage option. It also has a generous 5020 mAh battery capacity with support for 33-watt fast charging. The Xiaomi Redmi Note 10 Pro is priced at 12,590 pesos for the 6 gigs plus 128 gigs of internal storage variant and 13,590 pesos for the 8 gigs plus 128 gigs of internal storage. Next up is the Xiaomi Redmi Note 10s. The Redmi Note 10s is yet another smartphone from Xiaomi in the crowded Redmi Note 10 series, and is a low-priced smartphone with an IP certification. It is equipped with a 6.43 inches FHD Plus AMOLED dot display, MediaTek Helio G95 processor, 8 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of internal storage, and a 5000 mAh battery with 33-watt fast charging. It features quad rear cameras consisting of a 64 megapixel main, 8 megapixel ultrawide, 2 megapixel macro, and 2 megapixel depth sensors. Besides, it comes with a 13 megapixel front camera. The Redmi Note 10s retails at 11,990 pesos. Up next is the Poco M3 Pro 5G. As we all know, Poco has been consistent in maintaining its bang for your buck reputation since 2018. It sports a 6.5 inches FHD Plus IPS LCD with fairly slim bezels and a slightly thicker chin, a 90Hz refresh rate display, and for its internals, the Poco M3 Pro is equipped with a MediaTek Dimensity 700 that supports 5G connectivity, of course. And it is paired with a Mali G57 MC2 GPU, 4 or 6 gigs of RAM, and 64 or 128 gigs of UFS 2.2 internal storage. For its price, the 4 gigs plus 64 gigs of internal storage variant has an SRP of 8,990 pesos, while the higher 6 gigs plus 128 gigs has a price of 11,990 pesos. Lastly, a worthy contender in the affordable 5G smartphone market, the Realme 8 5G. It packs a 6.5 inches IPS display with a 90Hz refresh rate, a MediaTek Dimensity 700 5G chipset, a 5000 mAh battery with 18-watt fast charging, and a triple rear cameras that consist of a 48 megapixel primary sensor, 2 megapixel macro, and 2 megapixel depth. The Realme 8 5G is priced at 11,990 pesos. So that's it, guys. That's all the top 10 smartphones under 15K that were released during the first half of 2021. Let us know your favorite in the comment section below. We hope you found this video informative, and if you did, be sure to drop a like, subscribe to our channel for more content, hit that bell icon so you don't miss any future uploads, and be sure to visit yugatech.com for the latest tech news and reviews. This has been Arel, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.